Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Leaders Connect webinar. My name is Chris Geralds, and I am the Leaders Connect Project Director.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kristen Dickens. I am the project coach.
Hi, everybody. My name is Kim Day, also a project coach with the Leaders Connect Network.
Leaders Connect is a professional learning community that connects school districts across the United States. We have three main goals. One is to improve recruitment, retention, and the promotion of educators of color. The second goal is to support educator growth through high quality professional development. And our third is to provide reflective coaching through leadership academies. Throughout our Leaders Connect network, we have over 240 administrators, over 4,000 educators, and we positively impact over 57,000 scholars every single day. Within our network, we continue to expand, and we have a few data points that we would really like to put some spotlight on. 100% of the participants within our network improvement community have aspiring leadership academies. And through those leadership academies, 100% of the participants remained or were promoted within their district. One area of spotlight is MSD of Decatur Township promoted 32% of those that participated in leadership academies. 33% improvement in teacher retention rates from year 2 to year 3 within our network. A spotlight here would be Gainesville Independent School District in Texas. One phrase we like to say within our network is implementation before improvement. So making sure that we implement systems and structures and really establish those systems and put them in place before improvement can take place. And you see that from years 2 to year 3, we are continuing to see an increase in our retention rates across our network. 50% increase in our student achievement in math and literacy student scores. Those are through intentional work within our instructional leadership teams, as well as our professional learning communities, which we will dive deeper into those aspects later on in our webinar today.
Okay, so here we have a graphic. You see it says the NIC level is at the top. I want you to take a moment to look at this graphic and think about what stands out to you. What resonates with you? What are some things that you notice? So just take a moment and think about those things that you may notice from this graphic. So hopefully you've paused the webinar and you were able to think about some points of reference from this graphic. You notice the NIC level is at the top, but also you notice that the arrows are kind of going in a back and forth motion, right? So there is an alignment from the NIC level all the way to at the bottom arrow where it says student achievement. So one of the things that Chris just mentioned was how student achievement levels are increasing with the participants that we have currently in the NIC. Also, the project activities that come from the NIC that we all collaborate on, that we work together on, those projects directly impact student achievement. What happens in the classroom level happens at the school level, happens at the district level, and what happens at the district level happens at the school level, also happens at the classroom level. So you see all of these areas are connected, and we're able to, as a NIC, to come together and collaborate on best practices to best implement for our, ultimately, we want to have student achievement.
Thank you, Kristen. One of the key benefits of belonging to Leaders Connect is the opportunity to join in an integrated and supportive networked improvement community. And I'm asking you to think horizontally. By becoming a member of the Leaders Connect team, your educators will have the opportunity to engage in district-led, partner-driven community opportunities. We bring people together with the sole purpose of really investigating what's working across the network, looking for those positively deviant practices so that we can share them and bring them to scale in other areas. Oftentimes, districts are working in isolation and facing specific ongoing issues. This is an opportunity to share your challenges, but also to share what's working for the benefit of others. Currently in our network, we have districts from across many states. We have folks in Indiana, Delaware, Virginia, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, Georgia, and Texas, all supported by a team of educators. We offer opportunities for folks to come together in a national conference. We have 2-day events as well. Each of these events provides opportunities for folks to network and share those things that are working within their districts. I think one of the things we hear most often about those engagements is that folks feel like they're coming home, right? They're coming back to meet people that they've met before. They can talk about things that they said they were going to engage in, things they were going to put into place, and hold one another accountable for their work. So not only do we have the horizontal networked improvement opportunities, but we also have what we call vertical job-alike supports, professional learning communities, and coaching. So our professional learning communities offer opportunities for folks within like roles to get together and to provide support for one another. Those opportunities can be facilitated by one of us on our Leaders Connect team, but they could also be facilitated by colleagues. The whole intent and purpose of those opportunities is, again, to share what's working in our districts, to offer examples for other folks and what you're doing and what those outcomes have been as it relates to those engagements and the practices that have been put into place. Earlier, Chris mentioned systems, structures, and processes. And so during these opportunities to collaborate, we encourage folks to share those system structures and opportunities that they put into place. How are they working? And really answering the question, how do we know? Some specific examples of these opportunities include what we call our HR chats, bringing our HR folks together to collaborate. We bring superintendents together, we bring principals together, we bring aspiring leaders together, even our instructional coaches. So depending upon the needs and the opportunities that exist, we offer these opportunities to bring people together that are currently in the same job space. Those opportunities are facilitated, as I mentioned, by either one of us or peers. Definitely not the last opportunity, but belonging to Leaders Connect also affords us opportunities to engage in what we call leadership academies. Our leadership academies are differentiated opportunities where we bring everybody from an aspiring leader to a principal, assistant principal, even district team members together to provide opportunities to build the skill and knowledge of the folks. Oftentimes we bring people together around a common problem of instructional practice. The goal is for folks to really examine that problem of instructional practice, investigate what are the strategies that are working in certain districts, what's the research say that's working, and then really to think about how do we put some of those opportunities, those strategies into place within our own context to really reap the benefits in terms of improved teacher practice and student performance. During these engagements, we provide coaching on site during those leadership academies. In other words, the facilitator working with the folks one-on-one, but also we encourage the peer-to-peer coaching and accountability. Some of the topics that our leadership academies have focused on previously are things like transformational leadership, narrowing the focus, in other words, really examining how do we develop a problem of instructional practice that's focused on student performance, the role of the leader in climate and culture, the role of the leader in utilizing data, developing high-performing teams, focused discipline and accountability, and realizing the vision. These are just some examples, but what I really want to highlight is as we sit down with you specifically with your district, we would ask you, looking at your strategic plan, looking at your school plans, what are the goals and priorities of your district? And then together we would really brainstorm what would be the most beneficial areas to focus on to develop and lead in terms of those leadership academies.
Wonderful. So another benefit to being a part of the NIC is the support that you will receive for recruiting, retaining, and promoting educators. So we know in today's climate that it is difficult to recruit teachers, and it's becoming increasingly difficult to retain teachers, and probably even the more difficult to promote teachers or to promote educators. You might be looking for educational leaders as well. But being a part of the NIC, we provide strategies, we provide resources that will help you to actually recruit, retain, and promote educators. So as it was spoken about earlier, we have various resources. One, for example, is the Recruitment and Retention Playbook. Within the playbook, you will have access to various resources and strategies to recruit and retain educators. And also with the leadership academies that Kim just spoke about, you have the opportunity to promote those educators as well, or promote educators that you see within your buildings and within your districts. We also have an opportunity for human resource staff to engage in monthly networking meetings. Within these meetings, they're able to speak to one another about the strategies that they've implemented that are working, and maybe get some knowledge about some things that are not working for them, but they're able to get strategies from others that are working within that same community. We've also recently recognized that there is a necessity to promote resilience within the educational system. Educators, educational leaders we're working hard trying to educate our students and make sure that they have everything that they need. And we also have to ensure that we're able to fill our cups as well. And so because we recognize that, we also provide support in that area to ensure that the educational leaders and educators in our districts are supported as well. So we also have a scalable school-based structure and professional learning. Within this area, we have two main levers. These levers are to improve student outcomes. That is what we are in the business of, improving student outcomes. We want to ensure that our students reach the achievement levels that we know they have the capabilities to reach. In order to do that, we implement instructional leadership teams as well as professional learning communities. Now, if you remember the graphic from earlier in the presentation, we have it pasted here for you to refer back to, because this is exactly what we're talking about. The scalable school-based structure for professional learning, we have instructional leadership teams. So at the district level, at the school level, we have leadership teams that are working alongside or in tandem with the professional learning communities. The professional learning communities are focused around the peer-to-peer coaching, educators coaching each other, working with each other on the same grade level, within the same content. They're working together to implement the best practices for the students that will meet the needs of their specific students, their specific classrooms. They take that information back to the instructional leadership teams, and the instructional leadership teams are then able to see, oh, these are great practices that you're implementing. The students are doing well. We're looking at the data, we're reviewing the data, we see how the students are reaching achievement levels, reaching goals. Let's continue to work in this aspect. Let's continue to work in this area, maybe pull back in another area because it's not proving to show the fruit of your labor. So these leadership teams, the professional leadership team and the professional learning communities, they work together in order to help students reach their achievement levels. One of my favorite points within the NIC, just within the work that we do in general, is the peer-to-peer coaching. So I mentioned just a moment ago how within the professional learning communities, teachers are able to work with one another to provide the best instructional practices that will meet the needs of the students in their classroom. With peer-to-peer coaching, we believe that everyone has a coach. So educators don't have coaches by themselves. leaders also have coaches. They have peers that coach with them, and educators have coaches that work with them as well. And it is a give and take. It is not just one person receiving feedback and receiving observations and that is not what this peer-to-peer coaching is. I am an athlete at heart. I've grown up having coaches almost all of my life. I've had a coach, and I love getting feedback and knowing how I can improve to make my practices better. Within our team right here, I ask for Chris and Kim's feedback all the time. I love feedback. But even in me asking for feedback and they provide it willingly, I'm also able to give feedback, and we're able to coach each other. So it is not just an evaluative. You see here, it is a non-evaluative feedback. We offer on-site coaching as well as virtual coaching. We can coach, and we also have coaches for ourselves. So this community is really a community that works to support and take care of each other to help students ultimately reach their achievement.
Kristen and Kim, thank you so very much for your passion and really going into depth about the various levers and just the resources that are available through Leaders Connect. I want to, as we conclude here today, I want to share a couple statements from two of our partners, Dr. Gloucester, who is the assistant superintendent at the school district of the city of York in Pennsylvania, talking about just the partnership and just the improvement of leadership capacity through their principals, assistant principals, and really taking a look at the systems and structures that have been put in place to help support their school district. And we're seeing just great gains, both from a student performance as well as from an educator performance and leader performance within their school district. We also have Dr. Stewart, who is the superintendent for Gainesville Independent School District in Texas. Gainesville has been a part of our network since 2017, and just really, education is very isolating, and you can be almost on your own little island. However, in working as a network, we have really expanded our island to bring in 8 school districts across 7 states. As we continue to expand our network, we continue to collaborate and really accelerate the work moving forward of positive student achievement, as well as, really increasing the leadership capacity of our leaders as well as our educators inside the classroom. So as we wrap up here today, if you have further questions, my contact information is there, as well as our superintendent of schools in MSD of Decatur Township, as well as our assistant superintendent of schools here in MSD of Decatur Township. You have on here a QR code. If you want to go ahead and scan that, we'll take you directly to our website for more details about Leaders Connect. Or if you, again, have questions, feel free to reach out to me, Chris Geralds, cgeralds@decaturproud.org. I would love to chat with you further, perhaps maybe visit your teams to talk about Leaders Connect and the impact that you could have within your district by joining our network improvement community. So with that, I want to thank you all for your time here today, and look forward to working with you and bringing you on board with Leaders Connect, as we are committed to the leaders of tomorrow. Thank you very much.